Hello, my friends. I am Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. Today, we're going to do a reading, what you don't see coming in the month of February. So, it pretty much is February at this point. I'm recording this on the 31st, and I'm hoping to upload it on the 31st, but we'll see. But yes, let's see. What you don't see coming in February. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Okay, so please and thank you, Spirit. What is coming in the month of February that the collective does not see coming? Okay, hold on. These, okay. Okay, that is way too many. That's a whole stack. Let me put those back. Let me put yours back. What is coming the month of February that they don't see coming? Okay. Oh, that's a stack too. Oh, that's a more manageable stack. We'll go with that. We'll roll with it. Roll with it. Well. Okay. Okay, indeed. Okay, well then. Wait, what am I doing? Let me start showing you what came out. So the first one that came out is the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Very interesting. Then we have the Fool card. Then we have the Magician. The Ten of Cups. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. The Judgment card. The Moon card. And at the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Hierophant. Okay, very interesting. Let's just dive right into the clarifications, shall we? Okay, starting with that Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Please and thank you, Spirit. What do you got for the... Okay. What does the collective not see coming? Please and thank you in the month of February. February. Okay, there was one that flipped over in here. I know it. You can't hide from me. No soy. No soy. No soy way. Can you hide from me? Okay. Well. Okay, so clarifying that Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, we have the King of Wands coming out like this. Okay. Then we have the Six of Wands upright. Okay. The Four of Swords. Two of Swords. Strength card. And then bottom of the deck we have Two of Wands. Beautiful. So, with that Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, that is a card of independence when it's upright. I want to say that with it coming out in the reverse, you may be convinced to exit out of your independence or, well, pretty much what I'm trying to say is you might be coming into a relationship of some sort. I don't think you're going to be removing your independence for like any reason, but like for lack of a better way of phrasing it, you may come out of a time of being single or a time of maybe even self-isolating to a degree, if that's been your experience. With the King of Wands coming out like that, I'm inclined to say that that's not your energy. I'm inclined to say that this could be somebody that really wants to get your attention. Because the King of Wands is a very charismatic energy, very powerful. I feel like you also have a powerful energy about you, and I feel like I'm getting the phrase moths to a flame. So this person could be quite drawn to you. The Six of Wands, that's success and being celebrated for that success. I mean, obviously this person probably wants to have success with you, winning you over. They're probably very attracted to you. There's a good amount of wand energy here. There could also be maybe news or something that they would like to share with you. That could be like good news of some sort. You could also be receiving good news in general about your own success. That could be a side message. Four of Swords. So yeah, I do get this energy of maybe self-isolating. But I don't think it's with no reason or no intention. I feel like you're doing this very intentionally. I feel like it's for your own, maybe for your own mental health, or just like for your own health in general, spiritual health. I feel like you've maybe been entering more of like a meditative energy. Yeah, it does feel like you have been kind of solo for a period of time here. But through that time alone, I feel like you're gaining a lot of wisdom about yourself, about your spirituality, about your spiritual connection. And then we have the Two of Swords. And that can sometimes indicate like having to choose between two paths and being unsure what to choose. So maybe you have to decide between your own self-isolation period and maybe opening up to another person. Maybe that is the crossroads that you enter. It does feel like a little bit of fear is involved, which if you've had a rough past in your relationships with others, I feel like that would be very understandable. So you may be a little bit hesitant to open up to other people, especially if you have been spending a lot of time on your own, doing your own thing. It might feel kind of scary to suddenly change that. But listening to your intuition should be very helpful for deciding what to do. But at the same time, Spirit could be encouraging you to move outside of your comfort zone. So if this is scary for you, maybe this is a like a lesson or a so, yeah, like I guess for lack of a better term, like a lesson of sorts. Not like a heavy lesson or anything, but like maybe just like a learning experience for you to see if you can go outside of your comfort zone. See if you can open up after a period of time of not wanting to open up. The Strength card. I feel like you'll have to be courageous if you want this happiness with this person, this success with this person. You may be uncomfortable at first with the idea of it, but maybe you find that it's what you want and what you desire. But if you are hesitant, it may encourage you to go outside of your comfort zone and be courageous. Find that inner strength. I do believe that a part of inner strength is being flexible. So yeah, maybe it's asking you to be more flexible with things that you thought you would never do. Maybe opening your mind to maybe, maybe I will. Especially if it's for your own betterment, your own growth. I do feel like you are nervous and fearful of that Nine of Pentacles being taken away from you, because that's you building up your own independence, your own stability. your own abundance. Yeah, I feel like you're nervous about that being taken away from you, but I feel like, especially with this strength card energy, I feel like you are fiercely independent regardless of who you're with. And I don't think anybody's going to be able to take that away from you. And the right person that comes along wouldn't want to take that away from you. They would love that about you, your own independence, your own fieriness, your own ability to care for yourself. This person should add to that and not take away anything. And maybe that's what you're realizing, this other person's intentions. Okay. And then bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands. So that's some plan making. But also it's like, but it also could be indicating feeling unsatisfied in some regard. And this isn't like anything super, it's not anything like super dramatic or anything, but just a sense that maybe things could be better, or that you're craving something else that you don't have right now. And I feel like maybe it does have to do with relationships with others. Maybe you are craving companionship. And so maybe you've been wanting that within you. Like maybe a part of you has been wanting that. Maybe a part of you has been desiring to manifest a good connection. But it's almost like if the opportunity arises, you may be a little bit afraid and uncertain if you're ready. But you actually may be way more ready than you realize. Let's see what's underneath that Two of Wands. Also with that Two of Wands, I feel like you've taken proper time to prepare yourself for the potential of a relationship or a connection with someone. So I don't think that you are as unprepared as you may think. The Hanged Man is underneath that Two of Wands. Yeah, you have been through a lot, that's for sure, in terms of your relationships with others. Definitely could be. But through those difficult situations, you've learned lessons. And you know how to use those lessons in your future relationships so that you're not taken advantage of, so that you don't put up with the same things that you might have put up with in the past. You know your worth now, your value, and you know what's important to you. Also with this Hanged Man, it could be kind of this moment of you taking some time out to think about things. So if somebody does come forward and offer you a connection, you may need to take some time out to really, truly, deeply consider it, because you may have multiple things to consider about it. And I feel like that could be helpful, and maybe that's exactly what you need to do in that moment. And of course, the right person will not be rushing you to make that sort of decision, because that is, obviously a very serious decision. So they should be understanding and receptive when you say that you need some time to think it over. I want to see what's underneath that Hanged Man. Four of Pentacles. Okay. So you may be very guarded. You may be a little bit closed off. You may be comfortable with what you have going on right now and a little bit I don't want to say unwilling necessarily, because I don't think you're stubborn in that sense of like never changing. But part of you may be a little bit unwilling because you've grown a certain amount of comfort where you're at and what you have going on. But the Four of Pentacles also tells us that sometimes it's good for us to get rid of the things that aren't serving us, the things that we think are serving us. And maybe at one point they were very useful for us to have, but they may have expired or outworn their welcome. Is that the phrase? Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. So it's almost like maybe this period of isolation was very good and maybe even necessary at one point. But it's almost like everything is good in moderation, and Spirit may be calling you to exit that time of isolation and open up yourself to opportunities, connections that may be arising for you. Because you don't want to completely cut yourself off from new opportunities and connections that could be very healing and very happy. It could make you very happy. So that could be a spirit message for you, is to maybe just consider if the things that you're holding on to are still serving you, or if maybe it's time to release those things. Okay, so now let's go on to the Fool card. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming in February with that Fool card? Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming with that Fool card? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, that's quite a bit, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Okay. Well then. Well. What do we got? For the Fool card, we have 7 of Cups. So the Fool card is all about new beginnings. I believe that, February will be full of new beginnings for you. With the 7 of Cups, you may have multiple areas of your life that are opening up to you or changing in some way. Also maybe multiple opportunities from maybe different people. I'm also getting like multiple doors are opening up for you, and it might just be a little bit overwhelming for you, and you may be a little bit confused or like disoriented because it's like, okay, this is all maybe kind of sudden. Okay, let's see what else. We got the Page of Swords. That could either be you in observation mode or somebody else in observation mode. 9 of Pentacles upright. So yeah, you, I think, flourish in your own independence. And your own independence has really served you in gaining stability, security, abundance, and confidence in yourself as well. So I do feel like you are, like, regardless of if you're in a connection with somebody else or not, you're gonna be independent. You're gonna keep doing your thing. Like, I definitely get that energy. Like, you're not gonna give up on yourself. You're not gonna let, your own goals and ambitions fall by the wayside. Like, you're gonna keep going with your goals and ambitions there. 3 of Wands. So I feel like that kind of goes with the idea that I was getting earlier. Like, you may be way more ready for something than you think you are. Because, like, the 3 of Wands is like the time is now. Like, your shifts are coming in. Like, something is right for you to get something started, or for you to do something that maybe you thought you weren't ready for. You also may be able to make decisions much more clearer than you think that you would be. I don't know if that makes sense how I worded that, but like if you listen, like, took some time to relax, ground yourself, and truly listen to your intuition, your spiritual downloads, I think you're going to have the answers for like what path you decide to go down. It's just a matter of trusting that, I feel. The Hierophant. There could be something about long-term commitment that's coming in, but also it's a lot about wisdom, the Hierophant. I feel like you've gained a lot of wisdom on your journey. And it's like you know how to use that wisdom to make the best decisions for yourself. You're also, yeah, very spiritually connected. And I feel like you're not going to be led astray. And then we have the Temperance card. A lot of healing, alchemizing, transmuting. I really do feel like this sense of transmuting confusion into action. Like you could start out February being very confused about the opportunities that are arising or the things that are opening up for you. But I feel like by the end of February, you're going to have a better idea of what you want, what you like, where you want to go, what you want to do, and how you're going to do that. Honestly, I feel like this Page of Swords is your energy. And this could have been your energy leading up to February where you're just like in observation mode. Maybe also like learning and soaking up a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. Could be about yourself or something outside of you. I feel like your mind is in the right place for these new opportunities to come in. You have a good amount of knowledge under your belt and wisdom. And you've built up that security, confidence within yourself. Yeah. I think you're way more ready than you may believe. And I think that's going to become more and more clear to you. Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You've been working on something here. Working on your own stability, your own abundance, security. Maybe you're also like, you've been working on building yourself up, building a life for yourself. Also maybe work projects or other types of projects you've been focusing your energy on and your attention on. But yeah, I do get this sense of you kind of being a little bit of a loner until February rolls around, and then February may encourage you to kind of break outside of that isolation that you may have had going on. I want to see what's underneath that Eight of Pentacles. The Lovers. The Lovers card. Yeah, so it's like you've been working on yourself, you've been building up your security, your abundance, all that good stuff. And then there could be a divine match coming in to kind of encourage you to break outside of your comfort zone, to focus on other things. Also, making good choices for yourself that are like divinely enlightened. I feel like because you have been making good decisions and you have been working on things for yourself, it could be that you're attracting this blessing to come in the timing that it does, whatever it may be. And it feels like it's coming in because you have been making these good choices. I want to see what's underneath that Lover's card. The Devil. So I feel like there's a good amount of fear that comes with maybe a blessing that's coming in from the divine, but maybe you don't trust it. You may think that there's something shady about it. Maybe you don't trust somebody or a circumstance or an opportunity. But also I'm getting with that Devil card that maybe you were slightly addicted to your own company. You know, you may have grown a little too much potentially comfortable with being alone, and so when something comes in to disrupt that, it could very much trigger you, make you very afraid. I want to see what's underneath that Devil card. The Six of Swords. That's you moving away from things that don't serve you, going towards the things that do, things that are more full of hope and opportunity. So I think that, yeah, these opportunities that are opening up to you in February, I feel like they're going to trigger you. They're going to trigger your shadow self. They're going to trigger your fears, your anxieties. But I think ultimately you know that you're ready for a change. And I feel like that's what you're going to be going for. Like, sure, there may be like a bump in the road when you're like being triggered, things are kind of scary to you, you're not sure if you can trust certain people or opportunities that are coming in. But I feel like, especially if you take the time to really analyze these options and really like take a good look at these people, circumstances, whatever, you'll be able to see that it's more like there's more hope, more opportunity on the other side than where you are at the moment, you know? Because I think ultimately you want to continue your growth, your journey of self-growth, self-improvement. And so sometimes we need other people, other opportunities to come into our lives to kind of trigger those things in order for us to heal them, kind of get over those obstacles, because there's like a lot of learning and growth that happens with that process. So yeah, I feel like Spirit is going to be challenging you in the month of February to kind of go outside of your comfort zone. And at first that may be very intimidating for you, but I think it will get easier. Yeah. Okay, let's go into the Magician now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming? Ooh. That's too much. Okay. What does the collective not see coming in the month of February? Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, so clarifying the Magician, we have the Queen of Swords, the Death card, and then bottom of the deck we have the Lovers. Okay. You've been like mastering a lot of things in your life. You've been trying to figure out this balance as well with all of the areas of your life. Through that mastery and balance, I feel like you're manifesting, and this could even be on a subconscious level to a degree. Either consciously or subconsciously, it feels. And then we have the Queen of Swords. And I feel like that's you being very logical. Trying not to be so emotional, wrapped up in the heart space. Being a little bit like mind over heart. But then the Death card follows that as if it's encouraging you to change, transform, and maybe open up your heart a little bit more, open up your emotions a little bit more. Again, like it's this message of like going outside of your comfort zone, because maybe you felt it was necessary for a period of time for you to kind of close off your emotions, close off your heart to protect yourself, or maybe to focus on your manifestations. Maybe you thought that opening up yourself emotionally would be too much of a distraction to what you're trying to accomplish. But that Death card indicates that transformation may be necessary, especially because it almost feels like maybe in this new chapter of your manifestations, this transformation may be necessary for the next chapter that you're entering into. Maybe that Queen of Swords energy did serve you up until a certain extent, but now maybe Spirit wants to encourage you to maybe try your best to open up a little bit more in your heart space. And maybe not, I was going to say maybe not be so guarded, but I'm not trying to say to completely let your guard down and be silly about it, but maybe find a place of balance and, yeah, being reasonable about it. The Lover's card at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so I feel like the Death card and the Lover's card is like encouraging you to make choices that will cause you to transform in some way. And the Lover's card, with the choices that you make, they're aligned to your path. And I do feel like the hand of Spirit in this. Like Spirit is softly guiding you to make these changes, to make these choices. Because it's like on the other end, or on the other side of making those choices and changes, could be a lot of happiness for you and fulfillment. And it could involve a divine match in some regard. And maybe that's part of like the trigger. I do feel this sense of maybe being triggered, because it almost feels like you want to guard yourself. As soon as you feel triggered, it's like, okay, let me close off everything and only be super logical, not get my emotions involved whatsoever. And I feel like that is coming from a place of fear, and I feel like Spirit does not want you to feel fearful in this new chapter of your life. Because again, you're like way more protected, you're way more prepared than you may think you are. Let's see what's underneath that Lover's card. The Eight of Pentacles, we saw that earlier. Yeah, okay, so you've been working on yourself, obviously. And you've been building up skills. And those skills are going to help you make these choices and changes. And I also think that with the Death card, you have transformed very significantly compared to how you were in the past. So if you're worried about being taken advantage of the same way that you were in the past, Spirit could be trying to tell you that you are different now because of the work that you've invested into yourself. Because of the things that you've been doing behind the scenes, you're way more prepared and way more protected than you may think. Let's see what's underneath that Eight of Pentacles. Probably the Devil, but no. Seven of Pentacles. So that's growing something slowly. Patience. Okay, so Spirit may be wanting you to practice some patience in this new chapter. I also feel like you haven't grown enough, or you haven't seen the payoff of something quite yet, or to the extent that you would have preferred it to be before you do these things or make these choices or make these changes. But again, I feel like you are way more prepared than you may think. It also could be kind of indicating that you've grown up until a certain extent, and maybe whatever this new opportunity, manifestation, person coming in, it could be like the next leveling up in your growth. And that next step is going to be requiring you to have patience, because it's almost like you have maybe done all of the growing that you can possibly do on your own, but maybe this new chapter is going to require somebody else to be involved so that you can grow and heal even more so. And maybe it's something in which you can't grow on your own, like relationships. So it's like a new chapter of growth for you, it feels like. And it's going to be different, but it's also going to help you continue on your growth journey, self-growth journey, self-improvement journey. It's just going to be a little bit different than what you have been doing in the past, because it's going to probably involve somebody else or something outside of yourself. And I feel like you're so used to doing everything on your own that it kind of may be uncomfortable for you to open up to the idea that somebody else is going to be involved or something else is going to be involved in that process. But it feels like it's necessary. Also, that could just be a reminder for you too, to just be patient with yourself if you have noticed yourself being triggered, or if you will see yourself being triggered in February. To be, kind, patient with yourself, and understanding, instead of getting frustrated with yourself and being like, why am I so afraid of this? Or, what is my issue here? Like, definitely be kind and patient to yourself, because it's just part of the journey is what I'm getting. And it's normal to experience fear. It's normal to be triggered. And yeah, you don't need to take anything out on yourself, because it's all falling together as it should, is what it feels like. Okay, let's go on to the 10 of Cups now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming in the month of February with the 10 of Cups? With that 10 of Cups right there. What does the collective not see coming with the 10 of Cups? Interesting. So the only card that came out for the 10 of Cups is the Ace of Swords. Somebody could have communication. Somebody could have some sort of idea. Leading to the 10 of Cups, which is like happily ever after. A lot of happiness. A lot of contentment. Again, though, there's like this sense of you branching out and either being part of a community, because like all of these cups are like interconnected with these strings. I feel almost like either you're going to have more community, or, there's maybe somebody else that you're building something with here. And I think it's going to require you to open up more to other people and other things outside of yourself. And I feel like that's going to be going outside of your comfort zone to a degree. The Ace of Swords, especially this card with this depiction, I don't know why, but it always hits me as like you taking back your power, or empowering yourself in some way, or realizing that you have this power. It could also be like you're taking control over your thoughts. So maybe those thoughts of doubt, maybe narratives that you've built about yourself and about your life and how things should go or how you want things to be. And maybe you're taking control back. Also, I feel like there's maybe a tool. You're like using your tools to achieve your own, the most happiness that you can. And maybe those tools have to do with your communication, have to do with your ways of thinking, have to do with maybe even your inner truth. At the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So again, there's like that message of having patience. Okay. Getting the message that Rome wasn't built in a day. So have patience with yourself on this journey. I think I'm going to do more clarification on that, but before I do, I want to see what's underneath the Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Let's see. Eight of Pentacles with the Seven of Pentacles. I think you may be a little bit concerned about going backwards in your progress or slowing down, and you don't want that. But that could be a fear of yours. Let's see what else comes out for this Ten of Cups, because I feel like we need a little bit more information. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming with that Ten of Cups in the month of February? Ten of Cups, please and thank you, Spirit. What else do you have for that Ten of Cups? Please and thank you. Okay, one more card. What is that? Knight of Swords. That can be quick change, quick movement. But it also feels like it could definitely be somebody coming in quickly. And since we have the Ace of Swords and now the Knight of Swords, definitely could be a conversation or maybe them providing some sort of information for you that leads to this Ten of Cups. They could be very enthusiastic with this communication. Also could happen kind of suddenly. Maybe you don't see it coming. But I think that maybe trusting that you're in power in this dynamic, like you have the ultimate say, you know yourself, you own who you are and what you're like willing to accept, what you're not willing to accept. So I feel like trusting yourself could be a good part of this, because I feel like, well, I mean, it's leading to the Ten of Cups, so I feel like it's going to make you happy, but maybe there's some sort of, because of the swords being involved, maybe you have a sense of guardedness at first, but then maybe you open your mind a little bit, you open yourself up a little bit, and then you realize that this could actually make you very happy. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands. So I do feel with that Two of Wands that it's like you may have been unsatisfied with a certain part of your life for maybe a little while now. And I feel like something is coming in to fulfill that part. And it could even be like on an unconscious level where you've been feeling like dissatisfied in some area of your life. And it's almost like because it's unconscious, when the thing actually comes in, your conscious brain may kind of psych you out and make you feel like you're not ready, or, you know, give you a million reasons not to do that thing, or to tell you that that thing's not actually meant for you when it is. Could definitely be something regarding the ego for sure. Because the ego ultimately is trying to protect us, especially when we get triggered and stuff. So it definitely could be like acting up a little bit, trying to protect you when there's not really anything to protect you from. And I feel like there is this sense of like a manifestation coming in for you that you actually do want deep down, but it's almost like maybe your ego tries to convince you that, oh, it's not, that's not what I meant, or, you know, not that form of this manifestation. I want it this way. Or, I feel like it's like your brain trying to like mislead you or steer you off this path that actually might be really beautiful. And I feel like this is answering some sort of prayer or wish or desire that your heart has, but your ego may try to get in the way and cause that fear. Let's see what's underneath that Two of Wands. The World card. Yeah, so it's like there's definitely a new cycle opening up. And you're closing out the old cycle. And I'm almost getting this feeling of like maybe there's a little bit of fear. A little bit of fear closing out the old cycle because you've been in that old cycle for so long. You've gotten used to how things go in that cycle. And I'm almost even getting like, it's such an interesting message that I keep getting. It's like this feeling of, maybe it's the sense that things look too good to be true or something. I also feel like you're used to things not going your way or things not working out for you. And I feel like you almost assume that anything that comes towards you is going to replay what you've experienced in your past, of things not going your way, of things being too good to be true, of you being misled in some way. And so it's like when things come in and they're actually working out for you and they're aligned to your path, I feel like the fear comes in and it tries to kind of convince you that like, oh, that's not for you. The vibes are off or something. When in reality, it's like, it is meant for you. And this could be like a manifestation, a wish come true, a dream come true. I feel like there's like a lot of peace in this new cycle that you're opening up here. And I also do feel like there is this sense of leveling up. So it's like the next level. And in this next level, you're going to be experiencing things, different things, and probably better things, to be honest. But that may feel uncomfortable at first. I'm gonna see what's underneath the World card. The Sun card. Yeah, so you're coming into a cycle that is going to be way happier than what you've experienced in the past. And again, I think you're used to things being disappointing. You're maybe used to not being very happy, maybe due to life circumstances or things not working out how you wanted them to, or things being too good to be true, things being like lessons rather than true opportunities that are there to make you happy and, create good energy, positive energy. So I feel like when it does come to this new energy and positive energy as well, it's answering your like a wish that your soul has, but it's almost like it does feel like maybe the ego that's just trying to protect you, but it's like trying to convince you like, is that actually meant for me though? You may find yourself questioning it a lot because it's like it's out of your comfort zone. It's not what you're used to. Also, I'm getting this person could be very direct as well, and that could catch you off guard for sure, because I think that maybe in your past cycle that you were used to, maybe you were used to people being vague, especially people that maybe want to connect with you or build a connection with you. You could be used to people playing games. You could be used to people being very vague when they talk to you, not being direct. And here comes somebody that's direct, knows what they want to communicate, and then they do. And that can be kind of scary, especially if it's like sudden and you're not expecting it, or you're like wondering like, is this person putting on a facade? Is this person wearing a mask? Is this person who they say they are? I feel like there's a lot of questions going on in your mind in this Yeah, in February. I feel like you could be questioning a lot, but it's almost like it's meant for you. You just may be having a hard time kind of wrapping your mind around that things are going to be flowing easier and maybe not so scary as they used to be and not as unstable or tumultuous. Yeah, because it feels like a steady flowing stream that is very calm, very flowy, very smooth. But it's almost like you're not used to that sort of tranquility in your life. Okay. Let's go on to the Four of Pentacles now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming in the month of February? Please and thank you with that Four of Pentacles. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got from that Four of Pentacles? Please and thank you, Spirit. What do we got? For the month of February, what do they not see coming? What do they not see coming in the month of February? What's going on? What's going on in that month of February? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that Four of Pentacles, we have the Tower card, Nine of Wands, the Chariot, 10 of Wands, and bottom of the deck, the Moon card. So I feel like that Moon card is definitely indicating some internal fears, and fears maybe that are attached to your emotions. Also the unknown, which I feel like this is going to be a chapter maybe opening for you that has to do a lot with the unknown, the things that you're not used to. And I kind of smiled when I saw this Tower card because I was just saying how you're not used to a certain sense of tranquility in your life. You're probably used to a certain sense of chaos. But also like the Tower card is coming in to like shake things up for you. And this is clarifying the Four of Pentacles. So I feel like the things that you are closed off to, I do believe that Spirit wants you to open up to them. And so there may be some way that Spirit is kind of making that happen within you. But also it could come in this form of like maybe realizing that you're triggered about something and maybe questioning that or digging a little bit deeper. Like, why am I being triggered by this? Especially if it's something good, like good news coming in. And you're like, why does this trigger me? Why does this make me feel scared when it should be making me feel happy? Like it's a wish fulfillment, you know? So maybe there's like a lot of sudden realizations that maybe you have about certain things, especially like maybe past traumas, the things that trigger you. I feel like you're going to realize a lot about yourself because it's almost like maybe you weren't even anticipating the good things to trigger you. I mean, I feel like a lot of us don't even anticipate the good things coming into our lives to trigger us. And then when they do, we're like, wait, why am I so triggered by this thing? Shouldn't I be happy? Shouldn't I be fulfilled now? Because I finally got the thing that I wanted. But it's going to take your brain, your body, your soul some time to adjust, I feel like. Because you're not used to it. It's like the unknown, you know, like the Moon card at the bottom of the deck. The unknown is scary. But sometimes on our paths in life, we have to go down the road of the unknown towards the things that we're scared of because they are what's truly meant for us in our highest good. And it leads us to our highest self as well. Yeah, that Nine of Wands, that's like you having a past of being hurt a lot. Very, wounded warrior energy. And that's probably why you are in that Four of Pentacles energy of being closed off and self-protected a little bit. And when you're having these sudden realizations, it's definitely going to probably call you to look on your past what took place in your past, and how is that still affecting you now? How is it affecting your ability to accept blessings into your life? How is that affecting your ability to open up and be vulnerable and be receptive? I feel like this sense of like you don't have to fight anymore. I feel like you're so used to fighting for things, or fighting to just survive is what I'm getting. But this feels like a chapter that's going to be very different than what you're used to, and it's for the best, you know? It's good stuff that's coming. And so it's like you're going to have to shift out of this mindset of maybe having to fight all the time, or fighting to just survive. And then we have the Chariot card. I feel like things are probably going to happen kind of fast with this Tower card and the Chariot. Like sudden, fast movement here. And maybe a drastic sense of change or shifting in the energies. And then we have the Ten of Wands. I almost feel like this sense with that Ten of Wands that there's parts of you, and I do think that this is going on a subconscious level. I don't think you're consciously trying to hold on to the pains of the past. But I feel like it's almost like part of you doesn't want to release those things quite yet. It's almost like maybe you even realize that in order to move forward, you have to let go of these things that are burdening you. But maybe your like subconscious self or your ego is saying, but that makes me comfortable. That's my emotional support trauma. You know, like I need to hold on to that. What if I miss it? What if it eventually serves me in some way when it's just holding you back and not serving you in any way? Yeah, it almost feels like it's reminiscent to me of like an episode of Hoarders. You know, I don't know if anybody out there has seen that, but it's like they'll have like the most random things, like a broken little toy, like amongst these piles and piles of things in their house. And they'll be like, you know, even though it's broken and useless and whatever, they would be like, oh no, I need that because maybe one day I'll fix it. Or maybe it has sentimental value in some way. And so I feel almost like that kind of sense. Not trying to call anybody out here a hoarder by any means, but I honestly feel like that's almost like human behavior to an extent, is like there's certain things that we naturally kind of cling to and hold on to because we think that they're gonna serve us eventually, or that, you know, like I'm almost even getting like it's to show what I've been through. Maybe like there's a lot of identifying with like the scars of your past. I don't know. It feels like there's some sort of clinging that's taking place, but I feel like it's either subconscious or like in your ego. And I don't think you're consciously like, oh, I'm going to hold on to my trauma and I'm going to hold on to these negative mindsets and I'm going to hold on to this pessimistic way of thinking or whatever it is. Because maybe it will serve me, or maybe it'll do some good, or, you know, something along those lines. But I feel like Spirit is definitely encouraging you to release things, and I feel like that's gonna come. Like that's gonna come, that sort of realization that something needs to change here, and maybe like I need to take some time to sort of reflect on these triggers, what's triggering me, what do I feel like I'm still holding on to that's not serving me anymore, and how can I try my best to release those things and also feel empowered in that process of releasing those things as well. Because like there could even be certain mindsets that you think are helping you be empowered, but maybe they're doing the opposite. Our brains can be very tricky sometimes. And so maybe there's like something that you're holding on to and you think like, oh, this actually, holding on to this thing actually makes me braver. But then it's like maybe releasing it makes you braver though. Yeah. So that just feels like maybe there's like some things that you're kind of, I feel like this is like a lot of change taking place mentally for you. And you're kind of like, it almost feels like it's almost like your brain is like an archive or a library, and you're kind of sorting through everything, maybe doing some spring cleaning. And you're like, okay, let me take some time to really analyze what is happening here, why I feel so triggered, why I'm so afraid, why I feel like things can't be simple, why I feel like things need to be difficult. And it's almost like, why do I crave things to be difficult almost? Why do I feel safe when things are difficult? Why do I feel safe when things do not go my way? Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of questioning and a lot of like internal realizations that you're having. But I feel like all of that's to serve you, to help you heal and to help you open up. Because it does feel like a big part of this energy in February is going to be a big lesson around opening up and how can you best do that, especially when opening up is kind of scary and it involves the unknown. I'm also getting like this Chariot card kind of gives me this energy of like, you may, like part of you may be afraid to move forward in some area of your life because it's like, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if I'm going down the wrong path? What if, I'm attacked by coyotes on the way? I don't know. Like it feels like there's like a sense of fear around movement and maybe moving forward. And so that's like part of all of this process, I feel. You kind of taking the time to analyze these things, to really look deeply into them. And maybe like there's also a part of like feeling through these things too. Because sometimes we hold on to emotions and mindsets and stuff because we haven't fully allowed ourselves to heal them, and sometimes we need to feel them in order to heal them. So like those difficult emotions, those like the way in which past events made us feel, maybe we need to take more time to feel through them before we are able to release them even. But yeah, I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of that sort of like mental transfiguring. I don't know if that's the correct term, but definitely a lot of like mental intricate work. Like it's very focused and deep thinking, very deep. And I feel like it's going to ultimately serve you and help you to open up and to go a longer path, much more smoother and with less resistance. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon card. So again, like there's that fear, the fear of the unknown. But there's also like this need to kind of go past those fears, to continue down your path, even though it's scary, even though you're not sure what lies on the other end or the other side. Because it's all part of your journey. It's all part of these lessons that you're learning along your journey, And I also feel like there's a part of that that's like it's okay to feel afraid and still move forward anyways, because you're much more protected than you believe that you may be. And these fears may not be based in reality as much as you may think they are. And maybe these things are not as scary in the reality as they try to convince you, or your brain tries to convince you that they are. Let's see what's underneath that moon card. The High Priestess. So something about your intuition. Maybe through this process of like doing that mental work internally, kind of sorting through your traumas, sorting through these things that you're holding on to. Through that process, it could help you feel your intuition much more strongly. Could help strengthen your relationship with spirit. What else? I do sense a sense of confidence, a sense of quiet confidence. So in the month of February, maybe you're embodying more so an energy of quiet confidence. Maybe you're going about your achieving your goals and following your intuition in a way that's kind of like, I'm getting the phrase silent but deadly. I don't know about that, but maybe it's like you're kind of like sneak attacking certain people that are around you. And I don't mean like literally, but rather like maybe you're achieving certain goals or hitting milestones, surpassing milestones, and it almost takes other people by surprise because you're moving in silence. But there's like a determination and confidence that kind of goes hand in hand with that. I'm also getting this message about like, you shouldn't be afraid of these circumstances. These circumstances should be afraid of you. Like, you are a worthy adversary. You are somebody that is very strong, very capable. You are so capable and you're so able to overcome these things. It's maybe just a matter of you believing it. I feel like you're going to definitely take some people by surprise, especially when you're able to embody that more confident sort of energy, that more determined energy, that, yeah, it's like quiet confidence I'm getting. And like the bravery as well, like being afraid but still moving forward anyways. Let's see what's underneath the High Priestess. Two of Pentacles. So you're coming into a place of achieving balance within yourself, within your life. I'm getting like this balance between the spirit world and the 3D world, like your reality. Using the two of them together. Like, yeah, using your intuition to guide you in the 3D. Maybe even using the 3D to guide you in your spirituality or your spiritual journey. There's a lot of power that you possess as well. And I feel like that power within you is just going to become more and more obvious the more you're releasing the things that don't serve you. You're opening up more. You're fully analyzing the things holding you back and doing your best to heal, move on, let go of those things. You're going to be entering a phase that is super powerful. I also feel this sense of like, if you don't know where you're going, it almost feels like the steps that you're stepping on. I'm getting like this picture in my mind of like a river, and then to cross that river, like the stones are just like rising up out of the water, and it's like you step on one stone, you're like, I don't know where to go, and then when you think that, another stone arises and you jump onto that stone, and then you're like, I don't see another stone, I don't know where to go, and then the other stone rises up. Like, I feel like it's like when you take the step, the next step will become clear. And so it's almost like you don't need all the answers, or you don't need to know everything, or you don't need to know how everything's going to work out. It's just a matter of trusting that when you take a step, the next step will be showing up for you. And so there is also that message of trusting the process, trusting in yourself, trusting in your spirituality, and trusting in spirit to protect you and to help guide you as well on your path. Okay, let's go into the Judgment card. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming when it comes to February, or in February? What does the collective not see coming in February? Please and thank you. With the Judgment card, please and thank you. Okay. Oop. Okay, was that all that flipped over? Let me see. I think that was. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. So, clarifying the Judgment card, we have the Five of Cups. If you've been going through heartbreak or just maybe depression, disappointment in love, feels like you're leaving that behind and things are changing for you with the Judgment card, because this is all clarifying the Judgment card. Seven of Wands, that's success, overcoming challenges, being very successful, determined, and that confidence that you have within you. When you have that confidence that you're going to win, you will win. There's something about that as well. Let's see. Ace of Pentacles, new starts, new beginnings, planting new seeds here. Six of Swords, moving past those things that are not serving you, moving towards the things that will be way more beneficial for you. More hope, more possibilities. Ace of Cups. You could be, feeding yourself with self-love, or maybe there's love around you that is going to make itself known to you. I'm also getting like the beauty of life for some reason with that card. So maybe you're going to be coming into a time where you realize the beauty in life, maybe, and you take some time to really appreciate the beauty in life. Three of Cups. You could be strengthening friendships. You could be celebrating something here. Or maybe uniting or reuniting with others and having a good time. Seven of Pentacles. So like that slow growth, the patience that comes with that process. And then bottom of the deck we have the High Priestess. Is there another one that flipped? No. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like that Judgment card is saying very, very powerfully that you are entering a new phase of your life. And this is a phase in which it's meant to make you happy. It's meant to make your life easier. Like it feels like the load that you've been feeling for so long, the heaviness, feeling overburdened, that's going to be alleviated for you. There's also this message about like spreading your wings and flying. So maybe using the lessons that you've learned and putting them to practice. And this feels like a chapter that's not going to be full of pain and sorrow. It's going to be quite the opposite. It will be a chapter filled with success, maybe multiple successes. You're going to be planting seeds, maybe within your own mind. Maybe when you're removing those negative mindsets and stuff, you're planting new ones that are way more positive and more helpful, that actually aids your growth and your success. Six of Swords could be, yeah, honestly, like you're moving out of this time of darkness and into the light. You're moving towards the things that are actually meant for you on your path, instead of the things that are holding you back, restricting you, making you feel burdened or held back. from achieving what you want to achieve. Ace of Cups. It feels like the more you feed yourself, the more you feed yourself with love, love will be coming and it will be reflected around you. The more you feed yourself with love, the more love will show up in your life. Also, it's very interesting that we have a dove in this picture, which we're clarifying. And then I believe that's also a dove right there in this picture. So doves could be significant. Maybe you'll see a dove. Not necessarily, but I'm getting it as like this sense of freedom and purity. That's what it's really coming across to me as. Because like they both have their wings spread out. Like either they're in flight or they're about to take flight. So I feel like there's like in this new chapter, there's going to be a lot of freedom for you. And then the purity, I feel like you could be coming through this. It's like it almost feels like there's like between this phase that you're currently in and the next phase, it's almost like a cleansing shower that you walk through before you go on to the other phase. And I feel like it feels like an alleviation of what you've been battling, dealing with, what's been holding you back, what's been pulling you down. You're gonna just feel much lighter, it feels like. And Spirit really wants that for you. And I feel like this sense of Spirit wants you to trust that. Trust that things can feel light and gentle and not heavy and burdensome. And that you deserve that as well, you know? Yeah, like I feel like that message I was just getting, like when you feed yourself with love, it is reflected back to you in your surroundings. So I feel like they're probably going to be attracting love, and it doesn't have to be specifically in romance. This could be in multiple ways, to be honest. I feel like it's going to become obvious that love is all around you. In nature. Ooh, excuse me. In nature, in animals, in humanity, in community. Yeah. I feel like this sense of you finding beauty in life, and the beauty in life could come from all of these different sources of love, or taking the time to really fully appreciate even the smallest little things that make you happy, that feed your sense of happiness, your sense of self-love. And then the Seven of Pentacles. I think you're going to be coming into a time of growth too. Maybe even growth when it comes to the ways in which you love, the ways in which you look at the world. The ways in which you view yourself, the ways in which you view your own stability and security and abundance. Like I'm honestly, with the Seven of Pentacles, I'm getting like this beautiful message from Spirit that's kind of like, enjoy the journey and don't rush it. Kind of like everything will unravel in divine timing. Like take time to smell the roses. That's like definitely the energy I'm getting from that. Is like, don't feel the need to have to rush everything and to get to the finish line as soon as possible. Like enjoy the journey as you're going down that path, you know? Take the time to look around you as you are focused on achieving your goals. Because, yeah, it's like that, for some reason I'm getting the message like that's where the true happiness comes from, is being able to enjoy every step of the journey. Even when we feel like, oh, I'm falling so far behind in my goals, or I'm like nowhere near this, you know, milestone that I want to hit. Or, you know, maybe I want to hit this milestone within a certain time frame and I'm not on the track to do that. Like, it feels like Spirit really wants you to kind of chill out in this new chapter. I know that sounds kind of like maybe weird to say, but it's just like, relax, enjoy it. And enjoy being able to take things slowly. Because like there's something so beautiful and something that's so valuable about enjoying things at a slower pace. Maybe you'll be able to notice more details when you do that. And you'll be able to appreciate the small things much more. Something about that. And then with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is a strong message to kind of indicate that Spirit is with you every step of the way, and you are protected by Spirit. I feel like that's like a very strong message that Spirit really wants to get across to you. It also feels like you're probably on your like divine path, whether you realize this or not. And so maybe trust that. Let's see what's underneath that High Priestess. Two of Pentacles again. I do feel like this new chapter is going to feel quite balancing for you. Like a balancing of the scales, balancing out the energies for you. Maybe within yourself feeling much more balanced, maybe stable. Yeah. And again, I'm getting this feeling of trust. Trust is like a big theme in this reading. And also I'm getting this message about like, try your best not to overcomplicate things. Because sometimes we can do that, especially our egos love to overcomplicate things. Or overthinking, you know. We overthink something so far that we're like adding a million extra steps and unnecessary details into the equation when it's not even necessary. And maybe we even put certain restrictions on ourselves. We don't really have any good reason for putting those restrictions onto ourselves, but we feel like it's almost necessary for whatever reason. We convince ourselves that it's necessary for us to have these strict guidelines for ourselves, and sometimes it's not even necessary, and it just complicates the situation more. And also sometimes it holds back our progress when we do that kind of thing, because if we're just adding more and more steps to the process, it's going to be so overwhelming that we're not even going to know where to start. So yeah, definitely try your best to keep things simple and not to overcomplicate them too far. Because it's like the more you complicate things, the less likely you are to move forward or hinder your growth in some way. Let's see what's underneath that Two of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. So that's a very similar energy to that Six of Swords energy. But this is way more about emotions and the things that do not emotionally fulfill you. But I really love the Eight of Cups energy because I get it as a energy of choosing yourself. Like as long as you choose yourself, you choose what is truly aligned with you and your goals and what makes you happy, success will follow. And it's all because you're choosing yourself and you're taking the proper actions to ensure that you are building what you want your future to look like. And the happiness that will come along with that. The emotional contentment that will come along with that. Yeah, if something doesn't make you happy, if something isn't serving you, remove yourself from the situation. Or remove that situation from you as best as you can. As much as is possible for you. And that will lead you down this really good path for yourself. I'm just curious. I want to see what's underneath that Eight of Cups. Nine of Swords. So if things are making you question yourself, if things are causing a lot of anxiety, overthinking, if you're losing sleep about something, This could definitely be related to love. Like if somebody is not treating you well, getting you stuck in your head, not fulfilling you emotionally, definitely do not feel afraid to leave that person behind if they are not aligned to your ultimate happiness and well-being. And also trust that better is out there for you. Even if you don't see how or who, it's out there for you, and Spirit would love you to believe in that and not to sacrifice parts of yourself or sacrifice your own happiness for the idea of something. And I kind of get that as like, don't sacrifice your own happiness for the idea of love, because sometimes we can be with somebody and we're like, at least I'm not alone, but then we're like miserable, you know. So it's like, don't sacrifice parts of yourself. Don't sacrifice your own happiness for these concepts, especially the things that society tells us we should want, such as a relationship or a partner or something. And sometimes, especially with the messaging in our society, it's almost like anything is good enough. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that it's better to be with someone than to be alone. I think it's much better to be alone than with the wrong person. And maybe that's just me, but I feel like, yeah, do not feel afraid to walk away from those things that don't serve you. And yeah, don't sacrifice your own happiness. And that may sound like common sense, but sometimes it's not so common sense, you know, when you're actually going through it. Okay, let's go on to the moon card now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What does the collective not see coming in February with that moon card? Please and thank you. It's also funny because the moon card is like the unseen, so it's really what you don't see coming. What else for that moon card? Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, there's something else left over. Okay. Let's see. So, clarifying that moon card, we have the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So, you could definitely be attracting somebody, but you don't see it yet, but it may make itself known in February. But it also could be triggering for you, triggering those fears, the fears of the unknown. Could be a new person and you're not sure where this will take you or what to expect from them. But they clearly have emotions that they'd like to share with you. I also feel like this could be, if that Eight of Cups really spoke to somebody out there and you're releasing somebody from your past that is just holding you back, not fulfilling you, it could be that when you do release that and you move forward, there could be somebody else that is going to make their way towards you when you release that finally. And this is going to be somebody that will make you much happier. And then the Eight of Wands is like fast incoming communication, positive communication. I like to see I like to see this card as like clear communication specifically. Somebody probably making their feelings for you very well known, not vague, clear, concise. There's the leaves in this image that make me think of growth. So like somebody that really wants to grow with you and maybe help you grow even. Help you along your journey. Could be like this like equal give and take of like you both help each other grow. Also, there could be growth around communication as well with that card. So maybe you're growing some sort of communication with another person. Like maybe you're learning a lot about each other in this process. Or yeah, it feels like you're learning new things about each other. And that could be helping you kind of build some sort of bond. And that bond builds more and more and more the more you two learn about each other. And whatever you talk about, maybe you find common interests that you like to talk about. There is the Wands, so that could be a sign of attraction or passion. Maybe you're very passionate about the same things and you realize that through having a conversation. Yeah, it seems really positive and really nice there. So I feel like that's definitely what's being hidden from you with that moon card. But I do feel like it's going to be coming clear and seen in February for you. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Pentacles again. So again, I'm getting that same message about like don't overcomplicate things. Also, you may feel a little bit unstable when it comes to maybe this person in particular. Maybe it's just because you two like each other a lot, and that can be kind of scary. But also maybe the two of you build some sense of balance together. Balanced, equal give and take. Equal security on both ends. So maybe you're both very abundant, or you both have ways to create abundance together. Maybe they're very compatible, like the both of the ways in which you create your own abundance, maybe they're very compatible with one another. And so when the two of you come together, you could build like so much more abundance. Let's see what's underneath that Two of Pentacles. The High Priestess again. Okay. Yeah. This could be a soul connection. Maybe the two of you both have really high intuition, very powerful intuition. You could also feel... I'm being very drawn to the light in the stomach area on this figure. So I'm almost getting like a sensation in your stomach could tell you that this person's like right for you. And maybe the both of you kind of feel this like, maybe it's butterflies, maybe it's giddiness. It's like you feel something within you that I feel like excites you. And this could definitely be a feeling that the both of you share. And you could also share like maybe a spiritual belief or spiritual belief systems or ideas about spirituality or intuition. I feel like the two of you are going to be very highly intuitive. Let's see what's underneath that. Ten of Swords. So that's a painful ending. So I feel like that's saying goodbye to those painful cycles in your life. The sun is rising in the background. A new dawn rises. A new day rises in which you can start again, in which you do not have to feel all of this pain of the past. Yeah, I really do feel like you're releasing a lot of pain of the past, and you're entering a new cycle in which there is a lot less pain and a lot less discomfort that you may have grown used to. Let's look at the Hierophant at the bottom of this deck. So something is definitely opening up to you with that key being very emphasized to me. Like you're gaining a key to something here. And I mean metaphorically. And I feel like it's coming through like your lessons or the tools you have gained throughout your journey is allowing you to unlock some sort of door to a new opportunity or something here. It's leading you to more success or down your path. And it also feels like maybe you could teach other people about how you came to that point of receiving this information, wisdom, ability to open new doors in your life. And that would be kind of summarizing how you have gained tools throughout your journey, gained that wisdom, that knowledge. Also, I feel like inspiration could strike you at any minute. Or maybe in the month of February, you could be like mentally very inspired, and maybe by multiple things like coming in to your mind all at once, or over a period of time. Let's see what's underneath the Hierophant. That's the Seven of Wands, so success, overcoming obstacles, being successful, standing out for being a success. You're on fire. So like, you know, I take that as like, you're on fire, baby, you know? You got it going on in the month of February. You're probably standing out. You got something going that is really powerful. I'm also getting this energy of like you having more fire in your belly for something, or more passion for something, or maybe more energy for something. There's definitely something about you that really stands out. We have the 10 of Swords underneath. So yeah, that painful cycle is coming to an end for you. And then the Hermit's underneath that. So I think that those painful cycles left you kind of isolating, self-isolating. And so it's time to say goodbye to that. That time of self-isolation, that time of pain, feeling really down and out, because you're coming into a time of success and standing out in a major way. And I feel like definitely something to do with your wisdom, your knowledge, your inspiration, maybe your creativity is going to help you stand out. Okay, let me just quickly see what the Oracle has to say, if there's any other messages that we got. What does the collective not see coming in the month of February? Please and thank you, Spirit. Anything else you want to add to this? Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Okay, let's see. There's one that flipped over. Flipping over. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so we have the Love card. This is representing the Lover's card. So you could definitely be attracting a love interest. And I really do actually really love the leaves and the vines in the background, because I feel like that's very similar to the message I was getting about like with the Eight of Wands, like somebody that you're bonding with, like over conversations. Maybe you are finding similar interests, similar passions, and this bond grows between the two of you. Like I almost feel like maybe you're not so sure of this person at first, but the more you get to know them, the more time you spend with them, the more you talk with them, communicate with them, it's like the bond strengthens and you're like, wait a minute, we actually might be pretty compatible. Maybe you weren't sure of it at first, but I really do feel like Spirit really wants to guide you towards love in February for sure. And then we have the Find Balance card. And I feel like that's kind of what the Two of Pentacles was kind of saying, is finding a place of balance within yourself, within your life. But also I feel like it's something about trying your best not to overcomplicate things. Like I feel like even organizing certain parts of your life, like maybe separating certain aspects of your life, like maybe leaving your work at work, or not bringing your personal life into work, like stuff like that, like separating things, leaving like a space for something specifically, and kind of organizing it in a way where you're like keeping things separate and not overcomplicated and not like overlapping things, because then maybe things get more jumbled up for you. But that's just a suggestion, obviously, like do whatever you feel is best for you. But definitely, I think do what you can to kind of achieve that feeling of balance within yourself and within your life. I also do feel like balance will be coming naturally as well with this new chapter that you're opening in February. Yeah, and you could be finding that you're finding a sense of balance. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have Strengthening Bonds. So interesting that it says strengthening bonds, but yet this person looks like they're standing alone. but they're also surrounded by nature. And I like to think about nature as being very healing, of course, and very grounding, but also being full of love. I do think that the earth and nature is in a vibration of love. And that love helps things to grow and to be nurtured in order to grow. So I feel like spending time with nature could actually be very beneficial for you. Also, like, she's glowing. So I almost feel like that's spirit with you. And so maybe strengthening your bond with spirit, or maybe your higher self. It also looks like she's like smelling a flower. And I almost feel like, especially with the context of strengthening bonds, like maybe somebody gave this figure that flower. I get like maybe, and I think I was getting this message earlier with the Hanged Man, was like something along the lines of like taking time to maybe fully consider something, taking the time to think something over here, especially when it comes to maybe new people, new love interests, new connections. Like this person maybe, maybe they just received a flower from someone, and maybe they're not quite sure how they feel about that person. So that maybe they're taking some time on their own, being out in nature, being alone with themselves in spirit, or their higher self, or their intuition, and like listening to, does this person truly make me happy? Does this person have the kind of energy that I can see myself being around? Kind of feeling it out on your own for a period of time. Taking out that time in order to be able to decide how you feel, or open your heart to this person and really feel through it. Does this person make me happy? Does this person have the potential of making me happy? Does this person seem genuine? Like there could be a lot of like thoughts, especially if you are finding yourself being attracted to someone and somebody is attracted to you. You may need to take some time out and just to really like get in touch with what you truly want, what really makes you happy, and does this person align with that? But either way, I feel like you connecting with nature could also be a very strong message here, because I keep getting a lot of like nature imagery with the leaves, the vines, the flowers. Yeah, so connecting with nature could be very helpful for you. Maybe even simply just taking a walk outside could be helpful. But yeah, I feel like that's a really beautiful message. So that is the reading. I really hope that you like this, and I hope that it resonated. If it did resonate, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective, because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we could be a little bee family together. If you like my readings and you'd like to see more, be sure to click that bell icon down below so that YouTube actually notifies you the next time that I upload. And thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.